If you were to summarize the 2026 global human capital trends, what would you say is the key message, and why does this year represent a true inflection point for organizations and leaders?
They're not all HR issues, if you will. They are enterprise issues. They're very commercial, enterprise-wide, C-suite issues that I would say increasingly we're seeing both C-suites and boards take a really deep vested interest in. Last year, we were talking about tensions that we knew organizations were feeling in the context of lots of change happening, macroeconomic, political, generational, et cetera, things that were happening around them. And they were almost sort of caught in this dichotomy, in this sort of state of, do we go here or do we go there? Do we go there or do we go here? This year, what we're finding just through all of the extensive conversations I've had with clients is that we're now at the tipping point. Like, people need to make decisions. They need to be decisive. So we're now at the sort of tipping point, and the trends really explores all of these tipping points, what it means for our organizations, what it means for our leaders, what it means for our teams.
I know the report digs into a few of those tipping points more specifically. Maybe you could share with us, which tipping point do you see as the most urgent one for leaders to really address right now?
The first tipping point I would say that people need to start turning their attention to, and I'm glad to say a lot of organizations are now starting. Are they through this phase? No, but they're starting to look at this tipping point from, how do we think about humans plus machines plus technology, to one that says, what is the exponential value that we could get from humans times machines? The second area, Shannon, is around moving from static plans to what we call dynamic orchestration. And so this is really about, how do you enable the humans times machine formula to produce the value that we're all looking for. And what it again speaks to, I think, is an organization's need to be really super focused on building an innate sense of curiosity where workforces continually adapt. And then lastly, I would say, if we get those two things right, or we move through those tipping points in an appropriate way for any given business, we're then able to more fluidly move from sort of focusing on what we have been doing in the last 12, 24 months on cost efficiency, maximizing the use of technology, to one that says, how do we actually think about this differently and actually create that value that we've been talking about?